Howdy guys, today is February 4th. I'm in the Americana scoop and we are up to 3 eggs now. So we got one more chicken laying. Alright, y'all, today is February 5th and my Buffs and Marins are out of food in their bin now, so starting to bring these around. I'm going to put another 150 pounds into this bucket and then just kind of keep an eye on how quickly they go through it and how much they're eating. So when I went to the feed mill, the inspector had just been there. So what they do is they poke a little hole in the bag and they'll take a sample and just kind of make sure that what is actually advertised is in the bag is what's in the bag. So they do that every now and then. So that's what these little stickers are. Howdy guys, today is February 6th and I'm going to go ahead and start getting a jump on the tomato season and start getting a few seeds in. So I'm going to do some Brandywine and some red cherry. I bought basically every organic tomato seed that I could find. I'm kind of notorious for killing things if it's in a pot. If it's in the ground, it's all right. Pot, I kill it no matter what. So I'm kind of interested to see if I'll be able to keep these alive. Had some organic dirt laying around, so that's really nice. So I'm using that to go ahead and get a little start on this. Since I have cats, I don't have a greenhouse right yet. I'm gonna go ahead and just put it on the top shelf in my closet. I bought a grow light and I kind of just swapped the light out and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully the cats won't get up in it. But I'm gonna go ahead and give this a shot because if I can spend, 20-30 bucks on seeds, that'll save me a lot of money in the long run versus buying plants later on. Plus it'd be cool just to, have complete control of the plant from the seed to the actual fruit. So that is what I'm going with right now. I'm gonna go ahead and get 2 little batches started and then start a couple more next week and then just keep on going. So these are the 2 that I'll be planting, the red cherry from Back to the Roots and then Burpee Organic Brandywine Reds. It's nice that I have just a bunch of egg cartons laying around, hundreds of them. So just rip the top off, put some dirt in, and pop the seeds in. So here's the setup. Planted 2 seeds per little pod there, so 24 per each. So there's potential of 48 plants that'll sprout. We will see how it goes. Had a ham bone laying around, so figured the chickens would enjoy a nice little treat. I got some more I'm going to go ahead and give the Americanas. And a few pieces for the Americanas. There's actually some more. I was going to kind of spread it out between my 3 groups of chickens and give the pearl whites some as well. I think I've got another Houdini on my hands. Houdini, the actual Houdini, the Buff Orpington, hasn't gotten out of the actual electric poultry net that I have, which is nice. She hasn't been out in a long time. But with this fence, this chicken here just seems to be getting out every day. I haven't seen a bee flying around in a while. Sure would be nice to see one. Howdy y'all, today is February 7th. So far this morning all I've done is water my seeds really quick, my tomato seeds. I did go ahead and put a wet paper towel over the cartons because it seemed like they were drying out pretty quick, so I think that'll help out. Last night I was working on my barn building permit and I realized that it'd be kind of nice to go out to the farm property really quick just to get some measurements as far as setbacks and whatnot. So I figured since I was going to run out there, why not go ahead and call the surveyor and see if they finished anything. And lo and behold, they did. So the stakes are set. The paperwork and stuff's not done yet, but that's fine. I just kind of want to see exactly where the boundaries are. So I'm going to run out there, but first I'm going to swing by and grab my parents because they really want to know too. We've all been waiting on it for a while. So it'll be interesting to see where everything laid out. So I'm gonna grab them and then we're all gonna head up to the property. Alright guys, it has been in the 50s all day today. I feel like I should see some sort of activity from the bees. I've been a little concerned. February, if you're going to lose a colony, is when it's going to happen. So I just want to check and see, not step on the chickens, check and see if there's any sort of activity in here. Still don't see anything. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take the candy board off. I did see some bees hanging out in there, but by no means was it a massive cluster. I don't feel a ton of heat coming off the hive like I did last time I got in here, so kind of want to see what's going on, if I have any bees left. Well, they have a completely full honey super. I'm not seeing much activity though. I don't know, I might go ahead and pull super off. I don't want to disturb them if they are alive, but if they're not alive, it doesn't really matter. This is probably the best day we have. It's going to be 58, I think, on Thursday, but rainy, so that's not a great day. I want to kind of make a decision on if I got to order more bees or not. I've ordered one already. My plan was to split this hive if it made it. It's not looking super promising at the moment. They've got this glued down really well. Alright. It's not looking good. Put this down. I just don't see one bee moving. Let me get the camera and show you. So here's the honey super, full of honey, completely fine. But right here, I've got all my bees kind of wedged on that one frame there. Not seeing any movement whatsoever. They did go through a little bit of their stored honey here, but there's a ton of honey in here that they haven't even touched. I'm going to go ahead and take off one more deep here, see if there's anything, but it's not looking good. Alright, well here's the bottom deep. Got some more dead bees here kind of on the corner. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like my colony made it. Well, y'all, my suspicions were confirmed. It's too nice of a day weather-wise for no bees to be coming around. I noticed it a little while back that it was a nice another 50-degree day. Didn't see any activity. That was the day I cracked the beehive open. I didn't see anybody up top on that candy board. Couldn't really see down in, but I didn't want to get into it too much. But the second time it happened today, I figured I better go ahead and pull it apart, because if you're going to have a dead out or a colony die, it usually happens in February. February mostly because of the weather, typically cold, and they just run out of resources. But I just combed through the hive. Their bottom box, or their bottom deep there, was never really that full to begin with. The comb was built out, but it's completely empty. The second deep is super full. It's really heavy. There's a lot of honey in there. And then they didn't even touch their super. That is still full. They might have eaten through one frame, but they really just went for that candy board. And that was kind of it. So even if you do everything right, your colony can still die. I am by no means saying I did everything right. This is my first year with bees. But did a lot of research on it, so you know kind of what you're looking for and what you're doing. But it really just depends on a lot of things. I did look through the hive, look for any sort of things that might be signs of disease. I didn't see that. So yeah, there's not much more I can do now. This hive did fantastic. They were a great group of bees, but yeah, they didn't make it. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and start thinking of what I'm gonna do with all the resources in here and go from there. Howdy y'all, today is February 8th. It just started raining, but there's still some chickens out, some brave chickens. We'll probably be going up here soon once it gets raining a little bit harder. But last night I ordered 2 more packages of bees, so they'll be coming the end of March. So what I'm going to do with this hive is I'm basically just going to kind of divide the resources, give each one a box with some honey, and that'll give both packages a huge head start from where my package bees were last year. Because if you remember, I had no frames drawn out, there was no honey, there was no pollen, there was nothing. I just dumped the bees in and said good luck, fed them a little bit of sugar water to help them out. So my package bees will be off to a much better start. So I'm gonna have 2 hives over here because they did really well over here. There's some woods, fields, there's a lot of flowers, so we're gonna go again with 2 hives. So the other one I bought was the nucleus colony, which is basically a 5-frame hive. It's a small little start, and those are the ones I'll be picking up probably in May sometime, and those are the ones I'm going to be taking out onto the larger property that I just bought. There's that ham bone, by the way, from the other day. Chickens completely licked that. They enjoyed it. Chicken, stop chicken on you. So that is the situation on the bees. So it's starting to rain now, and it's going to be raining all the way through till tomorrow. I don't know when exactly the rain's going to stop, but ideally I would like to go ahead and get my posts and take them out and mark the corners and get those dug in, just so I have, you know, at least the 4 corners for when I start building the fence. Those are set and done, so I just know right where my property starts and stops. So we'll see how that works out tomorrow. It's not gonna be fun. I'm gonna be digging those posts in 3 foot into the ground, so that soil out there is miserable to work with. So 3 feet is gonna be tough getting through that clay, but that's the hope for tomorrow. At least that's the plan. Last night also I submitted my crazy rooster. I submitted my pole barn building permit application. So that's moving along. I've already been getting some correspondence back and forth with the county. So that's fantastic. Things are moving on that. So I'll just keep you guys updated as I know more. Howdy y'all. Today is February 9th. I am at Rural King. I figured I'd swing by and look at their posts. I'm looking for 8x8s. I'm not going to work on the fence today. It's super windy out and kind of drizzling right now. So it's a gross day to do it. Looks like there's their 8x8s. So I'm gonna pop these on all the corners and also probably in the middle too. Doesn't look too bad. There's a couple split lip ones that are chewed up, but that should do it. So I'm gonna work on that in the next couple days. But I'm kind of in the area because I had to swing by the county building to work on the pole barn permit, so I figured I'd stop in and see if they even had posts. Also gonna need a bunch of T-posts for when I start actually working on the fence between those larger posts. So anyway, just good to see they have plenty in stock. I hear chicks. So I didn't wind up getting anything. I don't get to Rural King too often, so I figured I'd just kind of walk around and see what they had. I was surprised to see they still had some turkeys and broilers. I have toyed around with the idea of a few turkeys, not for production as far as selling them, but just for family. So I'll probably get some at some point, but not quite yet. Just interesting to know that they do have them. Now it's off to the county building to work on some permits for my pole barn. I am so lost in this building, you guys. It is massive and they keep tossing me around to different departments. I'm trying to work on the well at the moment. I don't know where I'm going. All right, y'all, I made it through the maze of the county building. I was tossed around a few different places because I had to sign some papers for the actual pole barn permit. Also, I had to turn in a soil erosion conservation thing, which is, don't get me started on all the little nickel and diming the government does, but I had to get a permit for that, pay for that. That was $100. That was done, and then I got started talking about a well with the lady, and so she sent me to another place, and I actually got my well permit while I was there, so that was very handy. So that's done. The only thing that's not really kind of set is the electric. So someone's going to call me because they weren't in at the moment. We're going to kind of work on that because I'd like to get the barn hooked up to power as soon as possible. Basically right after it's built. So anyways, that was productive. Glad that's done, and gonna head on out. The wind is whipping today. Chicken coop at my parents' house isn't holding up too well, at least the plastic. You can see it's ripped up all in the front, back. The door I did. Even this little tree thing here fell. And then this whole side. So the chickens are pretty exposed. If it gets really cold again, I'll fix it, but right now, temperature-wise, it's looking pretty good. The Americana coop isn't holding up too well. That side kind of blew out. This little slit right here by the door. The wind's not blowing it at the moment, but this is kind of poofing out. Other than that, it's good. I got a couple eggs from them, blue one and brown one. So Americanas lay blue eggs. They say 1 in every 300 will give you a pink egg, so it looks like I'm the lucky winner on that. That's what the hatchery says, despite their best breeding efforts. Sometimes you get the pink egg. It's not the end of the world. I mostly just wanted some color in the cartons and working with nice chickens. So anyway, it's super breezy. The rain stopped for the moment, so the chickens are out. Probably not too much time until they go up for the day though. Overall, a pretty productive week. So next week I am going to start working on some fence posts out on the larger property, and we'll have some fun out there.